Welcome to Cards Unboxed. Well, Christmas is well and truly on the doorstep, so it's a perfect opportunity to have a look at what decks you can use for the festive season. The first deck we're going to be looking at is the Christmas Playing Cards by TCC and designed by Natalia Silva. The tuck case is a matte finish card with a Christmas tree that wraps all the way around and a little North Pole stamp on the back. The sides of the tuck have a little bit of extra detail. You can see their little bell and the stocking hidden in the text. And on the opposite side with the Merry Christmas, there's also two tiny little love hearts built into the design. You've got the ad copy on the bottom and a custom snowflake seal on the top telling us it's an 1000 run. You also have a little North Pole stamp on the tuck flap, and then the side flaps have a little star hidden on each side. There's no gaff cards with these decks, but you do get the jokers. You've got the one green joker and then there's a red joker that follows, and you can see that Christmas tree design with the drop shadow to give it a 3D effect. We get 4 custom aces, all with Merry Christmas wrote across them, all with these enlarged pips, and all with a little bit of a Christmas scene built in. What's really novel about this particular deck though, is every face of every card has a completely different design. And you can see on the spades here, instead of using black, they're using this dark green instead. Every card's reminiscent of either a bauble or a snow globe with a Christmas scene, and there's a lot of iconography on there that you'd associate with winter and Christmas, such as reindeers, snowmen, polar bears, and then just the typical things like snowflakes, stockings, Christmas presents and candy canes. Because the imagery takes up centre stage on each of the fronts of the designs, where they position the pips is obviously in quite a peculiar manner, trying to fit them around the design that's there. That might make it a little bit different, or difficult I should say, for somebody to recall what their card is, but you still have the typical indices on there if they're struggling. This is definitely a deck you should consider having with you around Christmas. If it's your Christmas carry or just a one-off for a Christmas party that's happening, it's a good deck to have and definitely catch people's attention. That bright red bauble looking Christmas backing is ideal. There's also a sneaky one-way back design in there as well due to that drop shadow around the circles. These decks were printed in Taiwan. They don't handle as good as a set of rider backs, but they do still have that dimpled design on the card. Now this deck is part of a set. There is also a green deck available where the back design is green instead of red. The next deck we're looking at is the 12 Days of Xmas deck by Deck Idea, printed by United States Playing Cards, and this is a 1200 run. The tuck case is a grey and yellow satin finish, and you can see this present design wraps all the way around with the bow on the front. On the back you do have this unique seal with the numbering on it too. You have partial ad copy on one side, and on the other side you have 12 Days of Xmas, on the first day of Christmas my true love gave to me, and on the bottom you have some more ad copy. And behind that Jingle Bell seal on the tuck there's also a little message that says Merry Christmas on it. The deck comes with 4 additional cards, the first being this ad card here. The second, third and fourth additional cards are all jokers, one for Santa, one for an elf, and then the final one for a snowman. This deck has lots of customization. The aces are all custom, with the ace of spades being a Christmas tree, the ace of diamonds being a bauble, the ace of clubs being a hat, and the ace of hearts being a wreath. The courts are all customised to be the 12 Days of Christmas, starting with the 12 drummers drumming, 11 pipers piping, 10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5 gold rings, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and there's that partridge in a pear tree. As well as the courts being completely custom, all the face cards are completely custom too. Each of the suits has its new redesigned pip. All the pip positioning is completely different to the typical as well. You'll also notice that the actual face of the cards is red or a very greyish looking green, topped off with either a yellowy gold pip colouring or a white pip colouring, and a bit of a sprinkle of snow just for good measure. Now the bright red colouring of the red suits is incredibly eye-catching. The greeny grey that you're seeing for the black suits doesn't necessarily work very well until you see the back design. The back design uses this same shade of greeny grey, but when you look at it on the back design it actually looks like a dark green. It's almost like an optical illusion that the bells and the wreaths and the red and the gold change what that shade looks like to you. Because it's a USPCC deck, they do handle quite well, very similar to rider backs, but that borderless front does make this quite difficult to do effective slights. It flashes very easily that contrasting colour between a red suit and a black suit. The next deck we're going to look at is the Winter Nox. Now this is the bluer version of them. There's also more of a lavender shade as well. The paleness of the blue and the white text design doesn't show up brilliantly on camera but looks fantastic in person. You've got that mounting design on the front and then a snowflake on the back. There's no text on the sides at all. There is add copy on the bottom, but it was almost impossible to pick up on camera, so I've skipped it. You get the two jokers, which are snowflakes. You get a duplicate Queen of Hearts, and you also get a blank face card. The back design is the same colour as the tuck casing, and it also holds a suited marking system. Click this link in the pop-out banner and this will take you to the video that explains how Nox are marked for suits. As with typical Nox, these do get a custom ace of spades, but the rest of the deck is a typical USPCC printed deck, typical pips, traditional court designs, the lot. The back design is really what this is all about. It's got that nice frozen wintry finish to it, not necessarily Christmassy but definitely wintry. Now to look at an underrated deck, the white tally-ho fan backs. Now these aren't a Christmas deck, they're not necessarily a winter deck, but I just think that fan back design with the all white finish does have a very snowy Christmassy feel to it that you could get away with quite easily. The symmetry on the back design does kind of lend itself to a bit of an abstract snowflake. It comes bundled with this double backer and that blank face card, so it's ideal for Magic. That back design has always lent itself well for cardistry, and you probably all know how well a tally-ho deck handles anyway. Obviously you've got that tally-ho ace of spades, the rest of the deck is just a traditional USPCC printed deck, standard courts the lot. The next deck we're going to look at is the Metalux B playing cards, the diamond back in red. Again, these aren't necessarily a Christmas deck, they're not intended to be at least, but that foil finish and the red and gold definitely has that Christmas time feel to it. These also benefit from that matte finish tuck case that's foiled and embossed in red foil and gold, but where you really get that Christmas feel from it is the back design of the cards. The red foil screams Christmas decoration. You also see straight away with the jokers that they have this dark red and metallic gold ink that's going to be used throughout. You've got your traditional setup, your traditional faces, but those courts have that metallic gold ink and dark crimson red effect, and that dark red is used throughout all the red suits as well. The colour scheme is also present on the two ad cards. You can't really go wrong with handling for a B playing cards deck. The borderless back design is still present, but that red foil really does look good in a Christmas setting. Now with the more expensive decks put aside, let's have a quick look at some of the cheaper rider backs that are available. So firstly, there's a green deck, comes with an off-coloured double backer and then a traditional double backer as well. It also comes with a single joker and a blank card, so fantastic for Magic as you'd expect from a rider back. Traditional faces, again ideal for Magic. With a green back, ideal for Christmas. You can also get rider backs with a metallic silver finish as well. That silver could definitely be used in a Christmas setting. It has that kind of silvery frosted effect to it, and the shimmer works quite nice for catching people's eyes. It comes with a couple of gaff cards as well, so again, a good set for Magic. It benefits from traditional faces and courts as well, so it's more likely to be trusted by an audience. The last one we're going to look at is the gold metallic rider backs. Again, that gold metallic shining back fits very well into a Christmas setting. Comes with a couple of gaff cards as well, 2 traditional jokers, and then the rest of the cards, the faces and the courts, are your traditional USPCC design. These decks go to show that you don't necessarily have to be spending £10 to £15 for a custom Christmas deck if you don't want to. You can get this for a lot less. So what did you think of the Christmas decks that I'm suggesting? Leave a message in the comments for me. Also, let us know what you're going to be using over the Christmas season. Give me some inspiration for next year. And the best free Christmas present you can give me is liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and share it with your friends.